Good morning. I'm Jamie Harrison. This is my video diary for April. One of the biggest things I get asked about is how I just kind of manage my time. I'm a working lad, like most of you. I work Monday to Friday, and a lot of people are always asking me how I manage to manage my time with my fishing preparation, the competitions I'm involved in, and obviously all the video and media projects that I get involved in as well. It obviously takes up, or it can take up, a lot of my time, and a lot of people wonder how I manage to do it. In this month's video, I thought I'd give you a little insight into a typical day of mine midweek. Not every day is like this, but this is a typical day. It's 20 to 7, I'm just over an hour early for work, and that's because I've got to shoot down the M1, across the M18, and I'm heading over to Wickersley Angling because I need some bait for this weekend. Well, I do actually get most of my bait from Willy Worms, which is a great online service. It's fantastic bait, but every now and then, because that needs to be sent out overnight, sometimes I need bait right at the last minute, and occasionally there are bits of tattle and other bits and bobs that I might need to buy, and Wickersley Angling has got a great stock here, and the bait is top quality as well. We've got a great range of Matrix kit here now. We've really never stopped stocking it here. It's brilliant. And this tattle shop's usually on my way to Southfield, where I've been spending most of April, which I'll tell you more about in a little while. I've got some footage from the Southfield Spring League that I can show you. But this tattle shop is on my way there, so I can normally call in there, but I'm not actually at Southfield this weekend, so it's a little bit of a rush job. But it's just great to know that there's, you know, a fantastic tattle shop like this where I can get quality bait, and they've got loads of stock as well. They've got loads of accessories as well. Look at that lot, plenty of lime green on show. And one thing a lot of people didn't know about is just sorting, that's Dave in there, just sorting my bait out now, getting me some maggots and pinkies, is that upstairs they've actually got a collection of rods. There we go, look at that lot. And right at the far end here, if I'm not mistaken, look at these babies. We've got the XS Slims here, we've got the XD, the bigger rods, that's the 14.9, the 4.5 metre. Another 4 metre there. Brilliant to know that I could just get here before work, you know, because a lot of tattle shops in this area aren't open at this time. This one opens at 7, it gives me enough time to get to work, which is about 10 miles away from here, so I can be there to put the shutter up to open for 8 o'clock. Job done. It's now 10 past 7. We've got 25 minutes to get to the other side of Meadowhall, where I can get the shutter up, because we open at 8 o'clock. Well, I made really good time there. It's 7:30, which is great. Gives me about 20 minutes to put the kettle on, get everything switched on, because we open at 8 o'clock. Looks like I'm the only one here. It's a beautiful sunny day. So that's it, like I say, 7:30, normal day for me. They're the shutters there that I will be opening at 8 o'clock. Just going to go in now. Going to be in here for about 5 hours. Going to go and get some work done. I'll see you at lunchtime. The quickest 5 hours ever. It's not quite 1 o'clock, it's 1:15. I've got away a little bit earlier. It's a beautiful sunny day. Chaos in there today, but obviously when it's like that, it goes quicker. I sell a few things through my website, and obviously that means I've got to post them when they get sold. So I've got 60 minutes. I don't always have an hour for my lunch, but today I've got to have it because I've got to go out. So I'm going to head up to supermarket to pick some food up for one of the lads, but I'm also going to nip in the post office and post these bits. So I'm racing about 15 minutes up the road, up to the post office, get them in the post, and hopefully I'll be able to get back in time to have some lunch at my desk. Can't believe how nice it is out here today. So I sell a few things through my website, just bits of merchandise for the channel, so obviously that means I've got to get out and post the stuff when stuff gets ordered. Just going to head in post office now. One of the lads hasn't brought any lunch with him today, so that's only next door to the supermarket, so I said I'd call in there, get something for him, and hopefully there won't be a queue in the post office. I'll get this stuff sent off and then I can get back to the office, and that'll give me about 15 minutes just to go through and answering some messages on YouTube and my other video channel, just to get back to people, that's all. So fingers crossed it won't be too busy in here. Well, that must have been world record timing. The unfortunate thing is, we're doing a lot of stuff like this, you can't leave it while a Saturday, you know, or a weekend, because that's when you ideally want to be on the bank. So this is why I have to use times like this to get all these things done. It can be a bit hectic sometimes, but at least it means your Saturdays are free to go fishing, basically. Well, I managed to do that in record time in 25 minutes, so that means I've got a few minutes just to have something to eat. It's just times like this, you've got to make the most of the time that you get, you know. What I'm going to be doing tonight is I've got to go back into work now. I'll just send some messages off, reply to all the great messages that I get on YouTube and on Patreon TV, and any emails that I get. So I've got to use that time while I'm having a sandwich, and then I'm going to be in work until 6 o'clock, when hopefully I'll get a chance to leave bang on time. And then it's about a 20-minute drive home, and I've got some more work to do tonight. I'm actually out with the lads tomorrow. Can't wait to see the lads. My best mates are absolutely nothing to do with fishing. They've never even been fishing, so when I go out with them, it's great just to go downtown or whatever we do, and we're just not talking about fishing, it's about everything else. So if I get all my work done tonight, hit the deadline that I need to hit, then I can go out to play tomorrow night. So I'm going to head back in now. Be another manic 5 hours. Hopefully it'll go quick, and I'll see you at 6 o'clock when I finish for the day. Done. DPD Local were 15 minutes late, so it's 6:15 now. It's been absolute bedlam, but it goes quick when it's like that. So I'm gonna go and get in the traffic now. It's 6:15. It's about a 15-minute drive to get home. I'm gonna have something to eat. I'm starving. I'm gonna get changed, and then I've got some editing to do and some updating of the website and stuff. So just gonna get in the traffic now. Looking forward to some food. Have half an hour just to get changed and stuff, recharge the batteries, and then I've got about 2.5 hours work to do when I get home. So I'm going to try and give myself a cut-off of 10 PM, so that then I can at least have an hour just chilling out, and then back to bed and do it all again tomorrow. So I'm going to find my way through this traffic, and I'll see you in the office. Well, it's nice to sit down anyway. I've just had something to eat. It's now 7:30, so I've been home just over an hour. I've had something to eat, got changed. I've got some work. I've got a bit of a deadline. I tend to give myself deadlines. There's only 1 or 2 deadlines that I have to do for Matrix, but most of the deadlines I kind of set myself, because it's the only way I can get work done. You know, it's quite easy when you've had a tiring day to just kind of not even sit here and just watch some TV and fall asleep. Whereas if you set yourself a bit of a goal, it just gives you, you know, something to push forward. And even if you just do a little bit every day, it's amazing how it can add up over weeks and over months. And one of the best sayings I ever heard, because people often ask me about where I kind of find the motivation just to keep doing stuff, is one of the best things I heard was somebody say, This time next year you'd wished you'd started today, and that's one of the best things that always sticks in my mind. So I've got some work to do tonight, and one thing I have learned about editing is you can go on forever with it. If any of you have obviously got involved in that sort of thing, it's the kind of thing that can never be finished, because you can always just keep trimming it up, making it better, change the music. You can go on forever with it, and you know, having made nearly 300 videos now, one thing it's taught me is to just kind of have a cut-off point. You know, there's a time when you need to just say, look, that's good enough now, I need to get rid of that and move on to the next project. But that's just come with experience, really. And you know, I know I've discussed that with Craig Butterfield and Joe Coarse. They're the same, they've been doing them for years, and yeah, it's more of a production thing rather than a finished fine finesse video at the end of it. If you could just get something that's just about alright, get that out there, and then you can move on to the next one. So that's what tonight's about. It's about getting some work done. Fishing, I need to tell you about what the fishing's been like through April. It's all revolved around one venue. I know a lot of you will be aware of this. I've fished the New Fish Southfield Spring League at Southfield Reservoir, which is not far from where I live in Sheffield. It's just near Thorne, near Doncaster. It's a fantastic venue. A lot of you will have seen the videos and seen the results by now, I'm sure. I filmed 5 of the matches out of the 6. One of the matches I wasn't there, I was away in Spain, so I had to miss that round. Richard Vaughan stood in for me. Thank you very much, Richard, if you're watching. It's been a really interesting league. I've not had a chance to fish it for 5 years, but obviously I've seen the results over the previous years about how it's fished and that sort of thing. One of the key things that I really look forward to in this event was just kind of sticking to one venue for 6 weeks. You know, most people that know me know that I don't specialise on any venues. It's not something I do, and if I ever come anywhere close to doing that, it's for a very short period of time. It's because I'm just kind of doing it like for a league, for example, or it's leading up to some sort of a qualifier or whatever. So I really fancied the opportunity to spend 6 weeks at the same venue, especially a venue I like, and it's been really refreshing. It's been refreshing in the sense that I made sure I'd got all my kit ready for the first round, and I also made sure that that was kit that was just specific for that league, which meant that after every match I kind of packed it away exactly how I wanted it for the following match. So it was all packed away in one place, so that when it came to preparing my kit and everything for the next match, everything, I knew my rods and everything were set up, they were all there, and that's made a massive difference to me through this league. And it's made it a lot more enjoyable because it's just cut down on the preparation side of the tattle side, because that has meant that all the preparation then has really freed me up to kind of think about my baits and all that sort of thing, make sure I've got plenty of hook lengths and all that sort of thing. So I've really enjoyed that. However, it's in my nature to not stick to one venue. So whilst I've really enjoyed fishing 6 weeks at Southfield, you know, I will be looking at other venues over the next few weeks, because I just need to fish different ways and different styles. And you can imagine that when you stick to one venue all the time, you tend to stay fishing to that style all the time, and that's not for me. I like to, whilst it's obviously usually feeder fishing, I like to try different methods out, learn different venues, and learn how different species feed on different venues, and that for me is what gives me my buzz on the long term. As regards the league, it wasn't a frustrating league. I was going to say it was frustrating, but it wasn't frustrating. It was always going to be a tight league. It was ran on points, and most people know the result from it anyway. I ended up 3rd overall, missed out by a point. You actually drop your worst score, okay, so you get 1 point for winning the section, and you drop your worst score. So my worst score was 2 points, and I was over the moon with that, you know, really pleased with that. But I missed out winning the league by a point. But it's been a fantastic league. I've really enjoyed it, and what I'll do is, because I use the same sort of kit on all of the matches, all the rounds, because it's the same venue, I'll just show you this quick clip which is going to kind of just outline the kind of kit that I used in every round of the competition. This is Peg 71. This is all on natural bank here. There aren't any platforms here, so we're down in the water. But once you're down, it's really nice and comfy. Feels very, very tight, the peg in here. I mean, that peg looks really close. I've not measured it, but it feels tight. Setup is the same. If I can get down here without falling down, I've got I'm going to fish 2 lines, 35 metres. That is with, I'll show you these because I know some of you will ask. 3.5 metre, that's the excess at 35 metres, and that is the XC, and that's going to be at 50 metres. Simple as that. Obviously I can change if need be. I've got a 4 metre XD as well. That's set up. That's the same setup that I used in round 1, but that wasn't for going a long way, it was just because the conditions were so severe. Everything else is the same. The side tray is all set up and ready. I'll show you in here because I know you like to have a look. Just a bit of water, obviously for adding to my ground bait or washing yarns, just always nice to have a little bit of water there. Obviously my ground bait, I've got some dead reds and some dead fluoros in there. Some dead reds, way too many there, but I've put them in water because I will save some of them for the next session. Keeping them in water keeps them nice and fresh, so I can put them back in the freezer tonight when I get home. And then some worms, I've got some worms already chopped there, and there is just some spare ground bait and some extra worms there if they're really wanting a lot of worms. Simple as that, and some spare feeders there just ready to go. And I've got a flask with me. Got to be very, very patient. Just got to fish for a bite to start with, but I've just been told that they caught some fish here last week. There were some fish caught up this area. You never quite know where they're going to settle and what peg they're going to be on, but hopefully they're going to be in front of me. Very simple. We're going to fish 10:30 till 4, and like I say, if it's very, very hard, I'll just be easing back on the bait, slowing the timing of the casts down as well, and you've just got to land every fish. I'm going to start on the 50 metre line, but I am going to feed the 35 metre line from the start. Well, like I say, I finished 3rd overall. I was pleased with that. It was frustrating in the sense that I'd led the last 2 rounds and I didn't go on to win it. But massive congratulations to Wayne Bartholomew who won it, and Matt Benwillow came 2nd. Well done, lads. But yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll be there next year to fish it. I learnt a lot about Southfield. Obviously at this time of year, it's a very important time of year at Southfield. Just like many fisheries, it's because it's kind of coming out of winter and coming into spring, and so even though it was only a 6-week duration of the series, you can see lots of changes in that time because fish are obviously, the water's getting a little bit warmer. If you look at the first rounds of the match, I really wrapped up nice and warm. It was freezing cold, the water was cold, whereas you look at the latter 2 kind of rounds and the water temperature's gone up and the fish are feeding differently and they were responding differently to different baits. And one key thing that I learned from that series was about myself, was kind of about decision making, about just having a good look around, seeing what's happening around you and responding to those changes. That's one thing that I've talked about before, about some of the top lads are very, very good at it. They're very good at seeing what's happening around them and making decisions based on what's happening either side of them and what's happened to their tip as well, you know, because they obviously know what they're doing and they can judge whether what they're doing is right or wrong and what needs changing. And that's been very, very important in this league. You know, some of the sections were very low weight sections. You were literally fishing for a bite. And if you look at the last match when I was there, I ended up with 28 bream, I think it was, for 70 odd pound. So there's 2 completely different ends of the spectrum there. So if anyone's interested in watching that series, all the matches are there on my channel, on the Catch Fishing channel, which is on YouTube. It's free to watch, so you'll be able to watch all those and catch up with those if you haven't seen them already. Incredible league. Andy Renton and Mick Axon did a fantastic job in running the league, and it's been really refreshing. It's been nice to stay local because a lot of people know I run here, there and everywhere fishing competitions. It's been nice to fish within 40 miles of my house for 6 weeks, which has been brilliant. So what's next? Well, there is a 3-dayer at Southfield at the end of May, so I will be fishing that. And I will be filming that as well, so that'll be on my channel as well. So at the end of next month's video diary for you, I will obviously have some footage from that for you, and hopefully I'll be reporting on a bit of success as well. We had an open day in April as well. It was at Angling Direct, which used to be, if anyone's interested, it used to be Climax Tattle, which is, I think it's classed as Dronfield, not far from where I live, between Sheffield and Chesterfield, I think it is. Angling Direct, and it was a great day. Massive thank you to everybody who came along to see us there. It was a Matrix open day. I was there with Craig Butterfield and it was great. We had the tank there, we did some tank tests and just showed off some of the new products and just talk fishing. It's a great opportunity for a lot of people that live in different areas. When we never see each other on the circuit and that sort of thing, to just come and say hello, shake your hand. And obviously when you get messages on social media like the ones I get every day on here, just like we all do, it's nice to put a face to a name and shake their hand and just talk fishing. So if you came along to that, thanks very much, and I'm sure there are going to be some more later on in the year, so I will obviously give you plenty of notice about those, so please come and say hello if you're in that area. Well, I've got loads of work to do. A lot of people have asked me about the kind of editing that I do, and I use Final Cut Pro for all my editing, and you know, it obviously takes time to learn it. Just like with everything, it's been self-taught for me, but ironically the videos I produce are for YouTube, and YouTube has been the perfect place for me to learn how to edit videos as well. So that's been the main resource. But if anyone's interested in producing your own videos and that sort of stuff, then please get in touch. You know, I'm always happy to help out, because I love to see the videos that other people are producing, and you know, I like to see where they're fishing, how they film it, and all that sort of stuff. I enjoy that as well, so just like people enjoy the work that I do. So please get in touch if there's anything you want to know about that. But like I say, it's gone 7 now, so I'm going to try and give myself a cut off of 10 PM tonight, because I could go right through the night if I'm not careful. So if I said 10 o'clock, I'll get a bit of a chance to chill out, but I've got loads of work to do. It's been a very busy month. Like I say, everything's really revolved around Southfield, and hopefully you've enjoyed seeing that little bit of footage from the videos. But the full videos about all the tackle that I've used, the baits, how I've approached each match, they're all on my channel, so please feel free to have a look at them at any stage. And if anyone's got any comments about that league, or the tackle that I've used especially, because some of it it's not specialised to that venue, but it's kit that's very unique to that sort of fishing, if you enjoy your natural feeder fishing, natural water feeder fishing. So just comment below and I'll do my best to help you out if you've got any queries about the kit that I've used, or you want to know a bit more about, you know, what kind of tackle I've been using there. So I'm going to crack on with some of this work that I've got to do now. But I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of a catch up, and just a kind of behind the scenes insight into how I manage my time. Not every night's like this, not every day's like this, but last night I was preparing my tackle for the weekend, and the tackle prep always comes first, and then the video kind of editing, media stuff comes second. But my fishing's done. I knew that all my kit was done this morning when I woke up, so that I can forget about that for now. I can concentrate on this, and then tomorrow night, assuming I get this work done, which I'm pretty sure I will, I can go out and have a few beers with my mates and just kind of unwind and just enjoy socialising, knowing that all my work and everything that means a lot to me is done. So hope you've enjoyed this little bit of an insight, and I hope to be reporting on quite a few successes in next month's video diary. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in next month's video. $10 PM. I'm done. I'm going to go and chill out for an hour or so, watch a bit of TV, and I'll do it all over again tomorrow.